Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Legion of Memers. Oh, no, that's my... Oh, shit. There we go. That's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
Not crickets. God damn it, not crickets.
Okay, our rocks
There are no
replacement is
green
already
rocks.
good.
I boomed it for you. Hi, I'm your host, Mephisto, because No Green Rocks is out 6, or not, he's not 6, but he's his voice is down. So... Legion of Memers. We got some stuff for you today. Let's start with introduction. Jeremy Wormy, how you doing, my man?
Oh, I'm doing really well. I love our guest for the day. I'm kind of fanboying right now. She's freaking Sailor Jupiter. She's been in I'll Know Zero. She's been in K. I just started watching K again. She's in K. Return of Kings. I'm trying to contain myself. That's how I'm doing.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Great. So every once in a while, if you need to, just turn off your camera and like 38 seconds away and just release and get back to us. All right. Let's go on with the crew. CJP, how you doing, my man?
I am doing well. I'm starting to put out the individual tracks for the GoldenEye album that I put out at the end of last year. So I'm just kind of slowly doling those out and noticing that they're still doing better than any of the original content I put out, which is kind of sad and a little demoralizing, but I shall soldier on. But I'm doing great. I'm really glad to see Amanda here because I'm not so much familiar with your anime work as the sketch comedy you do on your channel, which makes me laugh uncontrollably. The Tits Out thing just had me rolling. That was just some of the funniest I've seen in quite a while. You need that kind of sketch comedy again.
Thank you.
Isn't afraid to make fun of the tropes that should be made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad you're here. I'm ready to get on with this panel and let's have some fun.
Cool. Devil Made Me Do It. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Devil Made Me Do It in Alec 3. If you like memes, check it out.
That's him at full power.
Great. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
Kenzo, how you doing, my man? How's the animation on your side?
I'm doing very well. I've got my next episode should be out, which coincides with the next Full Aussie next Saturday, and it's going to be a bit longer than the first one. Yeah, I've had a couple of people in last week to record their parts, and I've laid all that down, and I've got like quite a busy schedule this week to get it finished. But I'm on target. I can't wait to show everyone, man.
Nice.
And Oculus, how you doing, dude?
Pretty well. Good to be back for this week's Legion cast. And you can follow me on Twitter where I post mostly Friday night type memes up there and randomly retweet some stuff. But all in all, can't wait for the show.
Awesome. And True Pop Culture 7.
Hello there, I'm True Pop, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. Yeah, keen to get on with the show. Not really familiar with today's guest, but I'm also keen to find out more. You say you've done some anime voiceover?
Mm-hmm.
Just a few.
Just some. Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Boruto.
So without further ado, Amanda from Daywalker Comedy, how you doing? Welcome to the show. I'm unfamiliar with your work, and I'm totally oblivious about anime, so you might enlighten me tonight.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be like, oh, here's my credits, but I guess since Jeremy Wormy brought it up, yeah, I'm a voice actor. I'm a sketch comedian. Some of my roles you might know me as are Sailor Jupiter and Sailor Moon and Sailor Moon Crystal. In Fire Emblem Awakening, I'm Sully and Chershi. Danganronpa, the video games, I'm Junko and Toko, and then Boruto, I'm Boruto in a show about, Boruto, Naruto's son. But yeah, so that's me.
What do you do apart from being an anime actor?
Yeah,
you run a YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, I run a little small but mighty YouTube channel called Daywalker Comedy, and I basically kind of just started making the comedy that I missed seeing. Like I grew up watching, like South Park, Chappelle's Show, all kinds of stuff that was kind of just funny, and I thought spoke truth to power and all that and stuff that comedy's supposed to do, and kind of didn't necessarily adhere to a political affiliation. It was just like, yo, if it's funny, it's funny. I don't care who's doing it. So yeah, so I kind of do sketch comedy up there. I do a live stream every Tuesday with Epic Mike, and it's a good time.
Cool. And I'll introduce myself yet again. I'm Mephisto. I am the one half of the Real McCoy podcast, a podcast that runs coinciding with this show, actually. But this week we're taking a break. I just got back from Paris, so I haven't really prepared the show, and my co-host is away on personal issues. So we kind of, had a breather. What is the Real McCoy? The Real McCoy is where we ask you and go watch a specific movie on one week or at the end of that week's episode, and then you watch it during the week and come back to us and we break it down. We give you some stats, some behind the scenes stuff, and we kind of break down the movie, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and overall just enjoy the filmmaking thing about that movie. So it's sort of like a book club, but with movies. And sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't, but we generally want to encourage people to take a look at the past and find out there is a ton of content that was literally left behind or not, but it's like movies that maybe you've heard about, maybe you haven't heard about, but this will encourage you to actually pick up and watch this. So Legion of Memers, we have some stuff for this week. Do you wanna start with the first topic?
Oh yes.
Oh no.
Ooh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was our favorite.
Hey, this is misogyny. This is gonna be a great movie and make tons of money
Okay.
for us.
Just
Down with
one
the
thing to
patriarchy.
mention about the Chrome add-on that shows the dislikes. It underestimates essentially. So the actual dislike rate is probably much higher, which is interesting.
So it's
Couple of-
guesstimating these numbers, or how does it
Yeah.
work?
Yes. There's a Chrome extension that you can download, and it will guesstimate how much dislikes there are. Usually it's very conservative in terms of the numbers you actually see.
Okay.
And it might differ from one person to another as well. It just works on a different algorithm. And usually the number of actual dislikes is a little bit higher in terms of percentage, about 10% higher, could be about 15% higher. But that's just guesstimation.
Interesting.
So it's ratio to hell.
Oh,
Let's just say anybody actually watched the teaser trailer?
Oh,
it's
we
ass.
yeah.
It's
That was
ass.
fantastic.
I think
garbage.
Gosh.
I did, but I forgot it.
I'll-
I think there's a scene where like Kamala Khan's floating in space or something. I think I remember that, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, it's
I remember two
either
very
Kamala
important
Khan
things.
in space or Monica Rambeau keeps touching things that she shouldn't touch, and then we got sort of a Freaky Friday situations with either them exchanging bodies or them exchanging powers, and hilarity ensue in brackets because it's not funny.
That would
It's
explain why
the-
Brie Larson actually smiles, because she would have had to have gotten that from someone else.
This is probably
Yeah,
her
I just-
final movie before she leaves.
I
Suspect
hear
that
nothing
to
but misogyny and bigotry. Okay, there's a wonderful scene with a white shirt.
I reckon she'll be in the Avengers movies, Oculus. Don't you worry about Brie missing out.
She's
No,
on
she's
gonna
not coming
lead the
back. She
Avengers.
knows this movie's gonna bomb anyways, and she realizes I can't do this. I want to move on. I want to avoid all this controversy and shit.
She's gonna go the reverse route of Sylvester
well,
Stallone.
When you guys were first watching it, did anyone else think that at the beginning, like Monica Rambeau essentially changed into a kid, kind of like the Avengers thing, and not
No.
turned into Miss Marvel? I got that impression at first because I'm like, oh yeah, Miss Marvel is a thing. Oh, okay, so they just switch places, And the thing is, I think the problem is like Monica Rambeau, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, they haven't really established a connection between them. So I'm confused as to why they're even switching in the first place. Really, they never met each other.
Yeah, but
So-
according to social justice rules, all people of certain races, like all brown people and all women, know each other, and we all think the same. So we're kind of interchangeable. So that explains why we just were able to swap like that. So it's a girl power. You wouldn't understand.
Okay.
Well, the
Go
problem is the whole movie's based on 3 characters that really couldn't carry a comic themselves. I mean, look how many times they had to reboot Miss Marvel, how many times they had to reboot Captain Marvel. No one was reading the comics. No one cared about these characters, and now we're going to get a movie. And they're all
And
like, now
she
you'll
ruined the
care, though.
computer game.
Now you'll care.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just remember,
Monica
they have
Rambeau.
very special power.
Monica Rambeau was popular. She was leading the Avengers at one point, and people actually liked her. The other two, nobody cared about.
yeah, but she hasn't been for a while, so it's like
Mhm.
pretty much an irrelevant character at this point.
What was it about? Since I'm not,
Harold-
I'm a normie, so I haven't really read the comics. What was it about Rambeau in the comics that made her better than the other two
She actually kind of worked.
to get where she was?
Yeah,
The
she actually
leader of the
worked where she
Avengers
was.
at
She
one
was-
point.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
the leader of the Avengers. Nobody cared that she was black. Nobody cared that she was a woman. She was actually strong and independent, and people actually liked her character. She wasn't a rehash or anything like that. She was an original idea, and people
Gotcha.
enjoyed her.
She wasn't just like a swap or like, Ripa's talking about where it's like, a hand me down or something like that, where it's just white. Okay, that makes sense. I was curious.
I prefer the old Miss Marvel, the old Carol Danvers.
Oh yeah, who doesn't?
Yeah.
She
thing
has
is,
2 assets just like Brie Larson.
the whole thing about the Marvels, I'm confused because I was willing to bet like my left butt cheek that they're going to definitely include like Galactus or Silver Surfer just to get the ultra nerds in the theaters. Because
Nah.
essentially after Thor 2, Marvel were like worried, oh crap, what do we do with Thor 3? How do we get more butts to seats? Essentially, I said, how about we include Hulk in there? And Ragnarok made a butt ton of money.
Mm.
And I thought they were going to do the same thing with the Marvels, essentially insert like Fantastic Four, and no, they just thought,
No.
oh, let's include the other Marvel-esque characters, and that will solve our problem, right? This will make
It's
now
supposed to
money.
be an A-Force movie.
Yeah. Expect this to be on D Plus like 2 weeks after it's released. I'm gonna put money on that.
What's echoing?
It started playing through my speakers. Hold on.
I'm just wondering if this movie has any legs in terms of like box office push, because
it won't have, because it doesn't have those big characters. No one really cares about these. They're all Miss Marvel, Captain Monica, Rambo, whatever, is also in a Disney Plus series, and you've got one that came from a movie. No one watches Disney Plus series.
I mean, a movie has box office legs in terms of if it's a franchise or it's a known character. If the audience knows who we're talking about, or if later on, if the movie kind of releases and then a week later, even if nobody heard about it, it's like there's a buzz about it. So when Iron Man came out, I've never heard about Iron Man before. I'm not a comic book guy, so I'm coming to this at sort of a normie view. Iron Man came out, and I was like, I didn't watch this in the cinema, so I waited a few months, and then I watched it on a DVD. I was like, I was blown away because this movie is so good as a movie.
Yeah,
but it kind of started the buzz going, and the next thing on the agenda was already Hulk. And I went to see it in the theater and was like, I mean, it's better than the Eric Bana one, but still, it's not that big.
I'm guilty of liking that movie.
I like.
But then the ball kept rolling because, again, I'm not a comic book guy. I'm sorry, Captain America was like, okay, I know about Captain America, yes, but I don't know about Thor. That's where it kind of recognized it. Now coming back to this, where people know who not Miss Marvel, but Captain Marvel is. We've seen her in her own movie, and we've seen her on Endgame. Where is this going? Nobody knows about Miss Marvel.
Who is the target audience? That's what you got to ask yourself.
There's no legs. So the movie can make a lot of money, but it needs to have that buzz, even a week into it. And if there's no buzz, it's gone. Just look at Ant-Man. Ant-Man had zero buzz, even going to the Super Bowl. 30 million that he spent for those commercials. First week, all right. It's not the best, but all right. Then it took a dive, and then there was nothing to keep it going.
Well, there will be buzz for the Marvels, but not the way you think. It'll probably be more focused on the trolls more than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Well,
Ghostbusters
Clinton-
2016 marketing.
But times 20. But this
Yes.
time they're gonna put the YouTubers and the news articles and news networks because expect that to happen.
Clinton
I would
House-
say. Sorry, Dammy, go on, mate.
Just real quick, Clinton House brought up a good point in the comment section by saying like the reason Captain Marvel 1 did well at all, if not for a little cheating, who knows, was because it was pushed between Endgame and Infinity War,
Yeah,
and was
required
marketed
reading.
as being very important to understand Endgame.
It
We
wasn't.
don't have that marketing anymore. It's gone.
Mm-mm.
The peak
That's what I was
is
saying about the whole target audience thing, and the comparison to the Ant-Man. Ant-Man on paper could have potentially been a good film. You know, they had like some good characters there. They had a good story, a good villain that they could have. You know, they were introducing the actual proper Kang. You know, all we'd seen of him was the Immortus kind of version they had of him in Loki. So this one, the target audience for me is, if there is such a thing, just the die-hard MCU fans, because I can't see comic book fans really being excited for it. It's not exactly marketed as a family film. As a family man myself, my kids are certainly not excited for it. You know, if it's a girl power movie, my daughter couldn't care less about the movie, you know? So I'm struggling to work out who the target audience for this movie actually is, who they think that they're trying to sell it to.
What do you think about it, Amanda?
I mean, it's clearly the tiny percentage of people that are really vocal on like Twitter and whatnot, but it's a shame. I don't know why Hollywood keeps thinking that these people are the majority, because they're not the ones who actually go to see these things. Or if they do, they don't have money, they don't have jobs. I'm just kidding. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not kidding. But it's really frustrating to see that most normal people, when you get offline, most people in the real world don't care what color or gender their heroes are or their characters are, as long as they're good and they actually have, like, you know, they're relatable. Like, you know, I feel like people were saying, you know, oh, guys, it's misogynists who don't like these movies. It's like, no, I didn't like it. It's not relatable to me. I'm not a super powered person who's just perfect, like in Captain Marvel, where her only flaw was what Jude Law was holding her back. That's not relatable to me. Like, I want to see somebody struggle and fail and learn and grow. Doesn't matter what their gender is, but anyway, yeah. So I will just say that's the target audience. It's a stupid plan because it's not going to make money, because these people don't buy comic books and they don't go to see movies. They should be catering to. Not catering, just making good stories. You know.
I want to thank Ruben Christopher Haynes. Yeah, the movie has no legs, but certainly he's got feet. So. Thank you, Ruben.
Two good other assets.
Yeah, I don't get how Hollywood and these big movie companies can't get it that you can appease fans and be bring in normies. You don't have to have one or the other. You don't have to, okay, we have to alienate the fans so we can get the normal people, or vice versa. You can have it both ways, because there was a reason these characters were popular before they had fan bases. It's you don't have to push one or the other. But they don't get that, and they refuse to even try.
Man, it's almost like we just had a movie that did that. Just came out like last week.
Yeah.
I think it's about the Marvels trailer as well. One thing I wanted to add about the Marvels trailer is I've noticed that it kind of spoils Secret Invasion in a way, because in Secret Invasion you see, like, you know, eye patch Nick Fury, like Old Man Logan style, essentially unshaven, and you know, it kind of, oh, okay, so he essentially survives Secret Invasion. He's all right. He's in this. I don't know. I think Secret Invasion takes place first and then the Marvels. If I'm not too sure on that, but then again, it's kind of a bummer.
I don't know anymore.
Yes and no, because consider this movie has been pushed back 5 times already.
Yeah, that is
and
true.
Secret Invasion was slated for later on, so I don't know how that is gonna work. But I'm guessing we're moving on to the next topic. Super Mario Brothers movie crosses record $500 million globally. And I went to see this right after getting off the plane and took my 2 kids to it. I asked the wife if she wants to come, and she was like, nah, ain't for me. Sat down in a theater and thoroughly enjoyed myself. Like, I don't like animation movies in general. If it's a really good Pixar movie, yes, good. Otherwise, I just let one of the grannies take my kids. But sat down in a theater.
Did the kids enjoy it?
The kids were absolutely loving every minute of it. And we sat down in a theater where there's literally one parent or 2 parent with 3 kids. And some parents I talked to right before the movie started, they literally brought their 1 kid and their 2 other friends with them. So the movie theater, every time there's a sort of a story beat or something that you watch, which is an action-packed moment, the kids were into it. They were literally into it, and they could tell, and you can tell these are kids who actually played like Nintendo Switch, because they could point out stuff from the games. It was like, oh, this is Odyssey. Oh, this is Mario 3D World. And this is not generally not English speaking people, but they were into it. And I don't know, 30 enjoyed myself. I even chuckled, like vividly chuckled a couple of times, which is I don't normally do, but it got to me.
It has heart.
Yeah, my son was bouncing in his chair the whole way through. Same, and he was picking up on, well, both of us were sort of picking up on all the little references between us, to be fair.
Both of my girls thoroughly loved it. In fact, it was the second time my youngest had seen it, because she went and saw it with a group of friends opening night.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we sorry. I was just saying, we went to see it in the IMAX. It wasn't a packed theater, but we got nice, good chairs, and the sound, like the music was amazing, and all of the sound effects that they were putting out the games. I thought the aesthetic, it all matched up perfectly as far as I was concerned.
They hit the nail on both the regular score, but also there's in the past, let's say 8 years, they put in like these 80s, 70s, 60s songs it's mostly 80s, but
since
they're using these old songs like in Guardians, like in Thor, and even in I think Encanto had one of the songs. I'm not sure. They're using like songs that the parents like. However, every time I like travel with my kids, I have a USB stick with all my favorite songs that are like driving songs. So my kids hear like 80s, 70s songs it's in their head. So my girl was like, "Oh, that's the Aha song that you love."
Take on me, yeah.
So they picked up on these songs inside, and it was like it got them all enthusiastic. But that's just my kids with my upbringing. But
I think it's the same for us, man. You got to think like songs that are in movies, like by Creedence Clearwater Revival and stuff. That's the stuff my dad listened to, and when I hear them in a song, immediately I'm recalled to where I was listening to it as a kid. So I think it's probably the same for our kids nowadays.
So you're sitting in the theater and you're watching a kid's movie, and suddenly there's something that can literally connect you with the kid, it's wonderful to me. And it's not, for looking at the movie on a whole, without going to like spoilers and stuff, because I know some people actually are waiting for it to die, the hype die down, and then go to theater. There's something in there for like moms and dads who are like not gamers per se, but had like an NES or played Mario or stuff like that. There's little bits and pieces where I remember that. Like I'm not spoiling, but there's a moment where they go down the sewer and the sewer level is literally 1-2. I was like, Okay, this is for the older audience. I got it.
Yeah,
I got it's a tiny bit of piece. It doesn't spoil the movie, but there's a tiny little piece. I was like, oh, this is for mom and dads. The rest of it is like newer games.
It's so charming. It's so
and the
loving
story is
and-
very simple. You stumble, you fall, you have sort of a training montage, we'll call it, and then you overcome a problem, but you stumble along the way, and at the end, you save the day, and show's over.
It's kind of classic. It's the
kind
classic
of like the
hero's journey.
Yeah, classic hero's journey. Not to be, but everything, all the different elements that you see are, to me, it felt like a big advertisement to the Switch, but it was enjoyable as just to sit back, relax, and just let the experience kind of wash through you.
I mean,
They
Have
did
you
it. They
seen the
did.
movie, by the way?
Hmm?
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't. I want to see that one, and I want to see. I've heard the Dungeons and Dragons movie is really fun too, which is exciting that there's movies coming out that everybody's just like having a good time at. But no, I have not seen it yet. I've only heard good things though. So,
And
I
my
mean-
problem with Dungeons and Dragons is a lot of these actors really just need to learn how to shut their goddamn mouths.
Well, like the
oh,
directors.
like offline.
The directors, yeah.
Offline.
Because-
Yeah.
Because as soon as I heard the director go, well, we wrote these characters to make sure we emasculate the male characters. I'm like,
Okay.
I don't care if the movie's good, not going to watch it.
Okay.
marketing
Did
for that
Arnold
movie was
people say
awful.
that? Not really.
Well, that's a lot of the bad things about movies these days. Is a lot of times people won't even notice certain characters being race swapped, certain things that they might change from the original story if they didn't have to go out and virtue signal for weeks and months ahead of time. It's I remember the Charlie's Angels movie, the last one, where she came out and said this movie's not for men, or the article that said the movie's not for men, and literally the very next week they put an article, why aren't men going and seeing this movie?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Not to watch it.
okay. Yeah, yeah, if they would just shut their mouth and just let the movie speak for itself, a lot of
Yeah.
times people would go to them and check them out themselves. But
Also with Dungeons and Dragons, it was set up to fail because it's in an awful spot. You're in between John Wick Chapter 4
yeah.
and Mario. You came
That's
out
a
at
terrible
one of the
release date.
worst times.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of curious to see how Oppenheimer versus Barbie's going to go. You know, which one-
I
wanna
think
go
Same
see
they're-
Barbie.
demographic.
I think
Yeah.
both of them will do relatively well. I think Oppenheimer will make money. I'm not sure about Barbie though.
I don't know who's
Because,
going to see Barbie. That's the thing.
who's Barbie made for? Because they've got a whole scene in the trailer of the Kens yelling that they're going to
Beating each
beat
other.
each other off.
I kind of want
I
to see Barbie.
I
Kinda
think
wanna see it.
a lot of people that are not connected to the internet world will actually go and watch the movie if there's nothing else to watch. It
Right.
really depends on the date it comes out. So it has to have a space in between. So the crowd that is going to go to Barbie, not necessarily is going to go to Oppenheimer, but it really depends on the dynamic of maybe the couples that are going, maybe they want to just have some fun. You don't know. You can never tell about these things. It's so weird. And going back to Mario just passed 500 million. We will have like numbers Monday morning or Monday afternoon on the numbers website where it kind of updates.
You can kind of get it about Sunday for how good it did.
Kind of, but more definitive numbers is like Monday. It's like my Monday morning, which is your Sunday evening.
Okay, yeah.
And this movie still hasn't opened in Japan, which is a massive Nintendo market.
Japan or
Hasn't
Korea.
opened in Korea, massive Nintendo market. So we'll see. But it did open in China, and I think it's not doing that well.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
not doing well over there, but also China's weird right now.
Yeah, China's really weird right now, so we don't have definitive kind of feel to it.
I wonder how much of a lot of that is punishment from China going, well, you kept trying to put this crap in movies we didn't want to watch, so we're not going to watch any of your crap
Well,
at all.
China's
Yeah.
weird in the sense that Nintendo's big over there, but at the same time, they don't really like Japan stuff and they don't like America stuff. So
True.
it's weird.
I think at
the-
this
the
point,
markets.
China's done with America, like for its films and such.
But also they're getting their own films over there and that aren't doing awful. They're doing relatively well. So
Yeah.
who knows what it is there?
Do you think that the American market will ever be able to survive without the Chinese market? Because I feel like we didn't
Yeah.
used to need them so much, and then
Oh,
the
yes.
past couple of years, I hear about it a lot more. And they removed didn't they put like Black Panther's mask back on because China doesn't like black people or
Yes.
something, like
Yep.
to market it over there?
Yeah.
Well,
The
taking
whole
out
the whole
Boyega,
point with John Boyega.
Yeah.
But the Top Gun Maverick didn't release in China and it did bangers.
Yeah.
You actually
Oh.
lose money. when you
Joker
go
didn't
over to
release
China.
in China as well, and it made $1 billion as well.
You
Which movie?
actually lose money when you go to China because they have a deal that the CCP has to take X amount of the box office. So
It's 75%.
Mhm.
So if you take 100 million, if you go and you have like on the big number, you got 100 million coming from the Chinese market. Going to the nitty gritty, it's about 25 million, maybe 30 million out of that 100 million actually gets to the United States. And then it gets divided to this. And the studio doesn't do a lot of stuff. However, the issue is the whole marketing, the whole merchandise stuff is big in China. They do buy a lot of merchandise there. They make it there, they sell it there. It's a lot. The profit comes from merchandise. Merchandising is where the real money from the movie is made.
Okay. So more for like
You've seen
comic book
Spaceballs.
movies and stuff that's going to have toys, but I guess other movies don't need to pander
Toys,
to China.
shirts, toys, shirts, whatever you want to think about that. There's merchandise that slap on that Marvel, and it just sells. Or you slap on that Disney, and it sells.
how did
That's
Avatar 2
the
do?
real money, because from the actual theaters, the CCP gets a massive cut from that.
Yeah. That's wild. Okay.
Oh, how did Avatar 2 do in China? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
What, a Mario? I don't
No,
know.
Avatar 2.
Avatar 2.
Not much. I think it's 150,
245 million.
240.
Wait,
Prejudice, Chinese
yeah.
people not liking the blue people. Unacceptable.
It was the second
Even
largest.
the original one didn't do that well in China.
Interesting.
The thing is that 100 million or that 240, whatever number you get from China, it adds to the big, the worldwide release, how much, whatever billion it makes, and it bolsters the sort of a competition between the different big studios. It's like, oh, we released in China and we did this and this and this. This got 1.7 billion. Okay, but how much money did you actually make?
Yeah.
You never know, because it, like I said, it doesn't factor in how much take you make from the worldwide release, which is less than what you get from the domestic and all that stuff. And you don't see the merchandise numbers. You never see the merchandise numbers.
The thing is, don't get involved with China. That's the big takeaway from all of this. I mean, Hollywood, as soon as they see dollars, oh, of course we'll give you our movies if they make the dollar. Like they for all we know, they if the Middle East, for instance, with the Taliban and whatnot, made loads of cinema money, they'd screen it everywhere in there. Like, they don't care. As long as it makes money, they'll release it anywhere,
Yeah.
Moral obligations begun.
That's what I don't understand with Hollywood. If they're all about the money, like haven't their latest movies not been doing very well? Like the Marvel things, like all the swapping and whatnot. Like it just feels like you would think that they realize that these are not money making moves and they would stop doing it, but they seem to keep. I don't know. I'm curious about that.
Well, right now in Hollywood, it's all about reboots.
But they never do well.
No,
Well, yeah,
they don't do
remakes
well.
and
But
They don't do well as they could, but they still make more money than
Than they
original
cost.
ideas.
Okay. Yeah.
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 We
essentially.
got some
'Cause,
announcements for some reboots.
for
Oh,
instance,
Yep.
Renfield came out like not long ago. That movie is really not making a whole lot of movie, and it's an original idea, original story.
Hmm.
I presume it's not making really that much money, but these franchise monies, they make bank essentially, much more than any original idea could.
Well, that's the problem is that we've trained the audiences to expect those and
Mm.
shun the original ideas. That's a training the audience issue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how you guys feel about the Harry Potter reboot stuff?
It's ridiculous.
50-50.
Mm.
I think it could be good.
But
Are they
hey,
rebooting it from
hey.
scratch? Like they said, like they're starting it over again.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a book a season.
That makes sense. I mean,
Okay.
I think if you're going to do a franchise on a book series, it should be a TV show, because then you have a lot more you can adapt with. A book, it's difficult to condense into a movie.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's why
I only
Dune
read the
never
books.
worked as a movie for me. It's too
Hey,
dense.
but hey, it'll be the most watched show in television history.
HBO.
I've been talking to like some British people, avid Harry Potter fans, and they're just rambling on how it'll be bad. They should not recast, and they hear J.K. Rowling. I'm like rolling my eyes and they're great. Yeah, I hate her, but not for the reasons you think.
Well,
so they're
Collaborating-
talking about doing what one book per season, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel sorry for Blab. She cried when she found out about this.
Really? Oh,
With joy
A
or
good or bad way?
Bad
In a
way.
bad way.
Okay.
Bad way.
So
That-
the whole thing about this show is, I think they signed a deal with J.K. Rowling for about 10 years, but part of that 10 years, it's like development time. So you have like pre-production, storyboarding, all that stuff to prepare. So you got like a year, maybe two, and then they're going to start shooting. They're going to go with a different cast altogether. They're trying to match as much as possible. That's what they're saying. I don't know if that's going to happen, but they're trying to match the books to the actual the book to the actual series. So a more faithful adaptation.
Oh, so
And they got,
Hermione will actually have buck teeth this time?
Maybe black.
That's where it remains with a question mark, because J.K. Rowling is more involved in the series
she's
than
executive
she was in the
producer.
movies.
Well,
Executive producer doesn't say shit. She's executive producer on Hogwarts Legacy. That's for her to make money.
Yeah, they use that like honorary titles, kind of. She doesn't
Exactly.
really do anything, but I'm the executive producer. There's like 20 executive producers or
In
whatever.
that case,
Exactly.
I'm the executive producer of the Legion of Memestream. I don't really do anything. I
Yeah,
just show up.
there you go.
I am also an executive producer of the
me
Legion of
too.
Me three.
Oh wow, guys,
I'm
guys,
actually
what?
looking for one for my cartoon. If any of you guys,
Do I have to do anything?
no,
No, I'll be
Okay.
executive producer there.
Dermy Dermy,
Huh?
the shirt on.
Yeah. We'll talk.
All right.
So the whole point is to recast everything, and then, like I said, there's a question mark about the casting, because you're going to get a new cast. You're all wrong.
all wrong.
You're wrong because you're not here. Wait.
Well, no, like
Was that the voice from above though? Who was that? That was in
Yes.
the chat. Oh wow,
That's Rockspot. Don't pay attention to it. Okay, it's
the AI overlord.
Yeah, it's this weird AI.
If one welcome our alien overlords.
Oh no, our show is glitching today. I said having AI problems here.
yeah.
It's a Borg simulating the Legion of Mima show. no.
Resistance is futile.
I think that with the Hogwarts, what they have is an opportunity in some things. Like, okay, if they leave the regular cast alone and don't try to race swap any of them and stuff, but they do have an ability to add more diversity in with the, because you don't get to see all the students in the movies and in the books. So there is place where they can add, because that's what they want. So they can add more Black students, more Asian students, more Hispanic students. They don't have to all be white. But yeah, it's just if they're gonna touch the regular cast, if they make Hermione Black like they did in the Cursed Child, I think you're gonna get some backlash, but I don't think near as much as we saw with like Lord of the Rings. I don't think there's gonna be like people are like, I'm not gonna watch it now. I think it's gonna be successful no matter what happens.
Now, do you think there's a chance you can connect it with the Hogwarts legacy to the Harry Potter show? Because I think it'll be an interesting concept and a shared universe idea connecting to the Hogwarts legacy to that.
I would assume like member berries, like stuff that they show like on walls or in books, something like that. I don't think they'll actually bring those characters in because that basically defeats the point of doing the books like
Well,
it's
Yeah.
not the characters, but more like the Hogwarts castle, because it's very different than the movies. Let's be honest.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
but-
in the Hogwarts Legacy, I think it's more to the books too. Like when you go into the Gryffindor common room, you go through the tunnel in the game, and that's how it is. In the movie, they don't have that. So
They have
I
you go
think,
through a painting.
yeah, there's a painting, but behind it is a circle kind of tunnel you have to go through to get into the thing. In the books, that's the way it is, but in the movie, they took that away. You just go through the painting, and you're in the common room.
We might be able to actually see. Spoiler alert! Dumbledore dies. Okay, spoiler alert. We might actually get to see his funeral.
Yeah, there's key moments in the books. I know some people haven't read the books. I love the books. I hated the movies, especially the last two. I love the final book. I know a lot of people like there's a mixed emotion about it. I love the last book. And there's like key moments in book 6 that are extremely important to the main trio of the entire book. That
Wasn't
is
there
like-
like a topic of conversation that they were going to make that last book with Daniel Radcliffe instead of a reboot first?
The
So
Cursed Child.
they
Yeah.
wanted to do Cursed Child. They wanted to have Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson come back along with the guy who plays Ron. The guy that plays Ron was more than willing to come back. Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson refused because of ideological reasonings. They didn't want to work with J.K. Rowling whatsoever. So WB tried to
fuck
purchase
'em.
the WB tried to purchase the rights from J.K. Rowling, but J.K. Rowling, being a shrewd businesswoman, asked for unbelievable god amount of money. So they brought her on for this.
And she hasn't actually wrote The Cursed Child. Somebody else wrote it, and she signed off on it.
What?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want them to do it into a movie anyway, just because it was a shit story.
It was a shit.
I even haven't read it because I heard stuff.
The son
Yeah.
sides with Slytherin, but yet Malfoy's son goes to Gryffindor, and then isn't there Voldemort's daughter with Bellatrix Lestrange is the villain.
Yeah, and essentially it's kind of they make Harry Potter like the loser in it, because like at the end he goes off and he faces against Voldemort's daughter, and she essentially I think kicks his ass, and then Hermione and the other girls have to step in and save him, like essentially and beat her because Harry couldn't get the job done. It's like, yeah, screw that.
So it's
And-
like Mandalorian season 3.
Essentially.
And the thing is, Dumbledore in the books, he is not gay. He's not portrayed as gay. He's not developed as gay. The whole Dumbledore's gay thing came about 3-4 years after J.K. Rowling was in an interview. Remember, guys, she is a raging leftist, and she's all about the message. However, the tiny bit she's against, so she's a castaway. The whole point is in the series, because she is hands-on with it, he will be gay for sure.
Amanda, were you a fan of Harry Potter?
Yeah. I read the books and I enjoyed the movies, but I definitely preferred the books. And I don't really see the point in rebooting the show, but I also feel like reboots should be like when everybody who liked the original is like old, like something where it's basically a fresh idea again. So I'm just not really sure how it's going to be, what new territory they can tread that's going to be worth a rewatch. And they're going back, right? So like, why would the originals be? Why would Daniel Radcliffe and all of them be in it anyway? Because they couldn't play the original characters.
I think you have to be like, you have to be old enough to be removed from your childhood long enough for them to ruin it for you.
Yeah. Yes. Like, or you have to, you have to be. It has to be far enough removed that you at least miss it enough to want to nostalgia watch it. Because I feel like they have not let, at least with millennials, I feel like they have not let our nostalgia die in any way. So
the same
like,
for Lilo and Stitch and Moana, like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
They
Moana's
weren't
not even
about
10
that
years
long
old.
ago. Yeah, I know.
I think Moana's a
Wait,
better
what?
example though. Like Moana, like
When
you
did
said, is
Moana come
barely
out?
even 10 years old.
Like 2016, I think.
Yeah, 2016.
2017.
Oh
I
my
think.
god,
So
I'm
you-
old.
okay, recent.
Oh wow, that makes me feel terribly old.
Maybe it was 2016. It was one of those. It was very recent. Like that's one of their CGI movies that came out after Frozen. They haven't even done a remake of Frozen, but you're
Or
jumping
Tangled.
right to Moana. Well,
Moana feels like it was 3 or 2 years ago. What the hell?
Oh,
I mean, it's because The Rock
all
needs something to
blurred.
do now that Black Adam's not coming back.
Bless him.
well,
I think he's producing it, right? So he's just like, let me put myself in something else. Here you go.
No, he's executive producing,
He's
meaning he's
executive
not
producer.
he's doing jack shit and just
Oh, so he's not going to be
giving
in
him
it?
the money. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
he's in it. He's going to be the
He's
lead
Maui.
character. Yeah, he's Maui.
I don't know.
Well,
you're
Disney.
welcome. God.
Even the Disney reboots they're making now, like I loved Little Mermaid growing up, and honestly, y'all are probably gonna be mad at me. I'm curious. I'm probably gonna go see, or at least see it when it comes out on Disney Plus or something like that. Like,
I miss the cell animation movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all had to be the CGI, and now it's all had to be like new. I want them to sort of tread the old style a little bit. Like I really enjoyed Princess and the Frog.
Yes. Well, I mean, I didn't like that they were frogs most of the movie, but I loved the classic animation style. So either
August.
I know. I was always a weirdo. I never really cared much for the animal characters in movies. I was that weird little kid who was like, I don't like the animal sidekicks. So
you hate
Oh, you
Bambi
must have
then?
hated
yeah,
Robin
oh yeah, I
Hood.
was the one who shot Bambi's mom. I was like, get this bitch.
Oh,
out of here.
you
I'm
too?
done. Yeah. You were there. I saw you.
Proud of that.
Next, we go
moment.
for Thumper.
Exactly.
Make a nice stew out of them. I guess it's just for me. I'm like, animation has a great it's a great medium for storytelling. If you're gonna tell the story again, do other stuff through animation, or if you're gonna retell it in live action, do something completely different. Make it a not dark, like they literally made it dark, but like visually it's just dark. But they need to make it a different story. They're trying to do frame for frame remakes, and I don't understand why they think this is a good idea again and again and again. It's proven that it's not.
Because
Bring back
they're
2D animation
creatively
back.
bankrupt. They have no original ideas.
But like,
I'm all for that.
they could maybe take inspiration from like Hans Christian Andersen's version, which is a lot darker. Like they could kind of find ways to take the medium and make it more adult. Or like Hunchback Notre Dame is like one of my favorite Disney movies because again, I was a weird dramatic child and I loved that movie, except for the gargoyles. They were annoying. But there's a musical version of it, and also it's based on a book. I'm hoping for the live action, they could really make it a beautiful thing if they actually go with the book where a lot of people die. Like it's a lot more grown up.
They are making a live action version, but
They
it's
are.
Broken Lizard that are doing it.
It's who?
The guys who did Super Troopers and Beer
Broken
Fest.
Lizard.
Broken Lizard.
What?
Yeah, they're making a movie called Quasi.
Oh,
See, I like Super Troopers. I didn't like Beer Fest. I don't know if I want this.
I
What
like
do you mean?
I-
Is it a comedy
I love Beer Fest.
it's a straight up comedy.
about
it's
Hunchback
so-
Notre Dame?
It's
Yeah.
so stupid.
I did not like.
Wow.
I did not like Beer Fest. His cousin looks exactly like him. Is called him, and they're like, "Oh, he just died, but here's his cousin, who's basically the exact same person."
I can't wait to see Farva with a hump on his back.
Well, no, it's Mac's Quasi.
I didn't like Super Troopers 2 so much either.
Oh
like
god, I
the
hated
sequels.
that. That was awful.
Super Troopers, though, that's
Oh,
that's
God,
one of
that's
those
so
things
good.
that you caught everything perfect. You're never gonna be able to replicate that. That is a perfect movie.
Mm.
Oh, so good. littering and. Oh,
Oh,
It's meme time, guys.
meme time. I've seen
Did
them.
you have a,
Meme.
did you have a transition for it?
Beautiful meme.
no.
Even
we're
though
not.
he's not here, we still feel his presence through the memes and the
Mighty Ho
robotic voice.
Young,
Oh, it's Mighty Ho Young. Ah.
born a small jungle monkey and all big city ho. Oh, I see Amanda, and is that Mephisto?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
me.
is.
That's the
I've never
best shape I've ever been in, by the way. In that picture.
Hey, I was Amanda.
Yeah, is
I've
that
never
from
seen Mighty Joe.
what is that from? Oh, that's from the Oscar sketch, I think. Or the Mothers Against Gas Assault Stoves.
It's Mighty Joe Young.
I meant my head. I meant my
Her
head.
head.
Your
From-
hair.
Yes.
Yeah, we're focusing on the important parts here.
Yeah, God.
Oh, I was looking at the title.
Mighty.
Man, I'm just happy I'm not the hoe. Usually I'm there.
I'll be the hoe. Oh, perfect.
You know what?
Oh,
I'm
look, that's
proud of
my
this.
hair from my homeless look.
Who is the child?
Who's the child?
That's
the
Dermy
devil.
Wormy.
That's devil made me do it.
No, I hate that I
Yeah.
took that picture. That is an awful picture of me.
The only
try-
way.
I was trying to get an AI system to work because it would turn you into an anime character, and every time I did it with my hat on, it made me look like like this weird person with an elegant gown and one of those like Dixie ball hats. And I so I take my hat off. I do it. It finally comes out right, but there's that face.
Yeah, I'll take the guy
And
from
that's
Toy
why I
Story
use
2.
it all the time.
Yeah,
Jeremy hates
the
it
toy
so much.
collector.
Yes, we found out last week I look like the toy collector too from Toy Story 2. That was. God. I'm not looking forward to shaving off my beard. 1K subs. I try to
Girlfriend
shave
demands
it
it.
off.
Oh wow, what I like this. I like the Daywalker crossover because I'm also thinking South Park, so it's like Blade and South Park, and I like the again. I'm in better shape here than I've ever been. Thank you guys.
I didn't even go into Blade. I was thinking about that Blood Rain for some reason when I
Oh
saw it.
really?
Mm.
Is it-
Yeah.
Oh, I assume this
It
is
is-
Blade. Is this okay?
It's Blade.
It's
Okay.
Blade, but I was
Yeah.
thinking Blood Rain for some reason when I first saw it.
I'll take it. She's still hot.
I'm
I like it.
suddenly remembering the details on the new Blade movie.
It's never gonna
Apparently,
come
the
out.
daughter of Blade is
Yeah.
going to be the main hero instead of the
Yes.
actual Blade himself, and it's not going to be
Yay.
R-rated either, as well, which is
Yeah,
Of course not. It's
ridiculous.
Disney. It's
How
Disney.
can-
What do you think? Do you think Deadpool 3 is going to be
Mm-mm.
R on
It has
Disney?
to be. It
So-
has
It'll
to.
be R-rated, but it'll
There-
be Disney-fied R-rated.
There is a fight right now for that. Behind the scenes, these are rumors. There is a fight, and Ryan Reynolds is fighting hard to make sure that it's rated R.
Mm.
He fought hard to bring back the original writers, but they still have Disney writers, and supposedly they don't actually have Wolverine coming in. Rumors, take this with a grain of salt, but
Yeah, I know. I heard it from
Hugh
the-
Jackman's
yeah.
going to be a cartoon version of himself as Wolverine. He's
Yeah.
just going to be Hugh Jackman pretending to be Wolverine because he can't find Wolverine throughout the entire multiverse.
I'm going to take that with a massive grain of salt.
Yeah,
They need
With
money
those
makers.
rumors.
Yeah.
if
I-
it happens,
It'll be a huge waste.
it's Disney.
Yeah,
Nothing's
no,
off the table.
No, no,
I
no.
know.
But and again, Hugh Jackman Wolverine. That's with Deadpool. That's like sure thing. That'll make money. You know. So I find it difficult to believe that they'll cock it up really, really badly like that. But you know, you never know.
Dude, Deadpool
You
2
don't
is not that great overall. It made money.
But it's very
I had some fun
forgettable.
with it.
Yeah.
I
Everybody
liked it.
remembers Deadpool 1 and maybe the
yeah.
X-Force part. Maybe.
I did like Deadpool 2, and I do remember. a
I
lot of
liked it.
scenes.
I like
but
parts of it.
it's not as impactful as the first
Well,
one.
Yeah,
You're right.
definitely
It's
not.
that idea of capturing lightning in a bottle. It's why Ghostbusters 2, even though I like Ghostbusters 2, it ain't Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is lightning in the bottle.
yeah.
You can't recapture these funny moments. It's really hard. I mean,
Did you
Amanda
watch,
does really great work. But you don't
Comedy sequels are hard. I think
Yeah.
really the only one I could think of that really did better than the original was Beverly Hills Cop 2.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen that.
As being funnier than the original.
It's more jokey and more actiony than the first one, for sure. I've watched them recently, both of them. I don't know. It's a toss up for me.
Well, when you get shown the same joke over and over and over again, it starts to lose its charm and its uniqueness, and you just go like, ha, 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 ha. That's why you have to be original. You have to keep pushing. You can't do it twice.
That's why
So-
comedy's so hard to make sequential. Like
Mhm.
even on like, SNL, some of those characters that were recurring characters, they're
Yeah.
funny, but after a while it's like the same couple jokes, and comedy is surprise. So that's the main thing that makes us laugh. So it's like,
you
okay, haha.
can have reoccurring sketch characters, like reoccurring gags, as long as the gag is different. I guess if you
Something
just
has
did the same, but yeah.
That's I love the sweaty balls. And then when Betty White did it several years later as the Dusty Muffin, that worked because one, there was enough space between the original and this one, and two, that they flipped it with it being a woman and her parts on bakery display.
Yeah.
God, I miss Betty White. She was so funny.
Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of those times you get this diminishing return on the thing with the characters on SNL and stuff. Like the Roxbury guys.
Yeah.
After a while, them bobbing their head and doing the same thing over and over again, it's like, yeah, we saw the joke. It's,
Or even was it like David Pumpkins? Like the first sketch was really funny because it was so random, and you're just like, what is this like character that he's playing? But then they tried to make like a special out of it, or tried to bring him back. I can't remember what they did. They tried to make a full-on Halloween special, and it was kind of just meh because the joke was
Yeah.
only funny the first time. Afterwards, you're like, okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like, why don't we bring up My Tiny Chair anymore? Because it's not that funny.
Oh no, that's still funny.
Oh, God.
It's still funny.
It's still not as funny as the Brony sheets, though.
I don't have brownie sheets. I've said it time and time again. They're pink with purple elephants.
There's been a recent new anime movie with a guy that turns into a little chair. You should definitely see it.
I'm
I
in that
know,
one. Suzume?
Yeah, I need to see it. I told you that at the beginning, True Pop. She's in it. She's literally in it, and I need to
Okay.
see it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's in
There's
theaters.
another meme you can pull up.
Oh no.
You need to pull it up.
Pull
I
it
know
up.
you're in the back, and I know you don't want to do it, but you need to pull that up.
No.
No,
That's not it.
no.
Come on, pull it up.
Come on,
I'll pull it up.
just as long as you
It's
don't
a
pull it out.
I'm just saying, it's a reverse Gavin.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Thank you, whoever that was. Thank you. No Green Rocks isn't hosting. Let it out.
It's out. So I never saw the appearance, but now I think I understand who this is. The Mighty Joe Young. Is that when Gavin went on Friday Night Tights? Or is this a different?
Oh no.
Who's
It's a
the
different
gorilla
thing.
guy?
Different thing.
Mighty
But yeah.
Green Rock uses a gorilla mask. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why every time I figure out something with a gorilla, I use him.
Okay.
He's not a real gorilla.
Yeah.
He
I'm-
isn't. Oh,
You should be
okay.
you should be played by a real gorilla, otherwise it's appropriation. This is offensive.
Exactly. See, Amanda gets it.
Exactly.
We need more
Harambe
chimpanzee.
Scammer
representation.
Call Harambe on the phone. Wait, I think I've got something for it.
Hello, Harambe. Hello, Harambe. Yes, calling Harambe. No.
Harambe, no, don't do it.
Harambe is what caused the world to go crazy.
Somehow it is, and I'm one of the people that were like, yeah, gorilla bad. He did bad
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Circle of life.
If it's either a kid or a gorilla, Harambe's gonna get it in the face.
Exactly. But I'm
Not
so fine
like
with
now
the tits
where
out for
Disney's
Harambe.
like, oh, we're gonna get the kid in the face. Oh.
They want kids in the face in several different ways.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here?
I don't know.
OP.
Zoom in, enhance.
It's One Piece.
So one piece.
A One
spoiler.
Piece spoilers. Well, I'm out.
Enhance.
This is gonna be so bad. The One Piece
don't-
live action adaptation that's gonna be so bad.
Similar
Oh,
to
you mean the
Cowboy
Netflix
Bebop?
one?
Wait, this
Yeah.
is a live
They're all gonna
adaptation?
be arse. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They're all gonna suck.
Yeah, they're
Gundam
gonna make
one's
it.
gonna be
Cowboy Bebop, because I'm assuming they didn't learn their lesson from Cowboy Bebop.
no.
Oh no, they did.
Listen,
But One Piece is especially not able. It just does not fit the adaptation because like they're saying in the spoilers that the normies just don't get it. They're really not gonna get it. It's not. It's yeah. This is gonna be so
I don't
bad.
know
Now they
why
still
it needs
continue?
a adaptation, essentially.
Doesn't.
I
Money?
have nothing to add to this conversation.
Pirate Island, all pirates in the plaza are defeated, and some have foam coming out of their mouths. Garp did indeed use Conker's hockey. Garp lands on the plaza before the ship does. The first ones to arrive are Vasco, Shot, and Sanju Wolf. The earth starts to shake, and Pizarro challenges Garp. Bounties are revealed. Vasco shot in 760 mil, whatever. San Juan Wolf is 870, whatever. And I don't. What the hell am I reading?
Someone play the cricket
Cut to a
noise right now.
certain sea.
Is it?
Green
Wait,
Bull
I've
is
got it.
sailing.
Well, I see that, Rocks. I'm trying to understand it.
Hmm.
To me,
is
looks like the Chat GPT font, so I'm already mistrusting it.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Like,
Yeah, like I read on Twitter earlier that someone who has seen the show being made, who doesn't actually have any idea of the source material, said it doesn't look good. There's bad CGI. There's a nonsensical plot that sort of dips in and out of seriousness and goofiness, and that they think it's not going to do well.
I'm a firm believer that you cannot make a live action anime.
Hmm.
I
Netflix.
firmly
It's
believe
mostly
that.
Netflix.
Well, not even Netflix. Like even when Hollywood does it, even when Japan does it, and Japan's made some live action animes. It doesn't translate. It's this idea of translating certain scenes and ideas that just don't look good live action. Anime has
Yeah.
a certain unique quality to it that whisks you away, and you don't. Full Metal Alchemist. Japan made their own live action version of it. It
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
Yeah, Death Note, the Guyver, like all of the old
The thing
ones.
is, with the special effects, you need some kind of genius idea to tackle it. Otherwise, it's going to look like complete shit, even with CGI. And I don't get this sentiment of doing everything that Japan does into an American version of it.
There are
Have you
certain-
guys
There's
heard, by the
certain
way?
anime. Go ahead.
Do you remember
Yeah.
the Fist of the North Star remake? That was pretty horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
What was
What were you
that?
trying to say, True? By the way,
Oh, they're also making a Squid Game into an Americanized version.
Mm.
well,
Like essentially, and apparently David Fincher is involved. Apparently, those are the rumors, but still,
won't help.
it's so unnecessary. It's ridiculous.
but there are certain anime tropes that just you can't translate to live action. You can't get
No.
a nosebleed.
Hmm.
Like when a hot girl walks up,
Yeah,
you don't
blood
get a
spurting out
nosebleed.
the eyes.
You don't get a nosebleed in real life. You don't
Mm.
get these certain charm and
Girls
uniqueness
don't
that an
do a
anime
Higo
has.
face in real life. Well, they do now, actually.
Well,
What?
they
Wait,
do,
wait.
but
Yeah, they
we-
do.
Demi, you get
age
nosebleeded?
restricted.
What?
No.
Yeah,
What is
like
this?
like anybody who watches the One Piece, that's exactly it. You have when what's his name? God, I can't remember his name now. Yeah, whenever he sees Nami, blood spurts out his nose, out of his, just all over the place, showers everywhere. Yeah, how are you supposed to do
Well-
that in live action?
Well, that's
can't
also
get
an
that
anime
looked at.
trope because they're not allowed to show boners. So they show that a girl is super hot and attractive, and guys are into them by having their nose bleed.
Mm.
That's stupid.
It's stupid, but it has charm and uniqueness. It's an anime trope that everybody recognizes. Long, multi-stage fights with people talking in the middle. In reality, in the anime world, that's like maybe a few minutes, but it doesn't make sense. But nobody realizes that. Like these conversations only really last like 15 seconds or something like that, but they can translate over to 30 minutes. That doesn't translate to live action. You can't go from beating somebody up to then explaining your whole life story. That doesn't make sense in reality. In anime, it does. In anime, you can have these long monologues within your head that is just in your head, but everybody else gets to see how the things played out. But in live action, that doesn't translate well.
Again, Dune 84 proved that point
Mm-hmm.
because of all those times he was monologuing in his head, and it just sounded weird.
And they have to cut it down so much. Like if you with the One Piece anime, you have when they go to get Nami, and it's literally like I think 8 or 9 episodes of maybe more of the story arc of her joining the crew. How are they supposed to put that in a 2-hour movie?
Mm-hmm.
And get all the other crew? Because I mean, are they just doing the first him and Zoro in the first movie and none of the other crew? It just
Is it a
I don't
movie
know
or
how
is
they're
it a
gonna.
series?
No, it's a series.
It's a series.
Right?
It's a series.
Oh.
But I'm saying the movie that they want to make. If they're gonna do it on Netflix, they're gonna make it into a movie, which means you get 2 hours. And the anime, like I said, it's very stretched out. There's a lot of filler, and like I said, just Nami's thing, I think is like 8 episodes or 9 episodes of her when they meet up with her and they go to the island and they try to, all of that. How are they going to compact that down and get the whole crew before the end of the movie? I just don't see them doing it.
So I had that same problem with when they did the live action Space Battleship Yamato in Japan. Is they tried to condense, a 26 episode series into a 2-hour movie.
Beautiful.
I approve this message, especially because Rox is a girl. I'm somehow related to
That's what you
Orochimaru.
get for monkeying around.
I don't know
Why do
how
I
will the
look-
audience react to a Berserk live action? How will that take it?
No, you don't touch
know-
Berserk.
No.
The thing is, okay, Berserk doesn't require like stretchy arms or stuff like that's stuff
No.
that's weird to like. I could see I could see a Berserk live adaptation done by people that have skill, essentially, because it's mostly medieval, and you can do like the demons practically, essentially, especially the Twilight scene, essentially.
You can't show a girl that has a demon girl that has essentially from her vagina up to her mouth a giant gaping mouth. You can't show that. You can't.
Yeah,
show
they'd pussy out of
the-
it and not.
You can't
don't
show a
it.
horse get possessed by a demon spirit and then about
True.
to grape another person. You can't. There's certain things you can't show. So
Yeah, you
the
can't
Berserk
show, but
fans
you can
will
suggest.
Will
You
get
can on
super pissed off.
Showtime,
Yeah.
but it
The
will
manga
never be on
Berserk-
Showtime.
The manga of Berserk is 10 times more graphic than any of the animes.
I'm with you, Oakley, on that though. I love Star. Of course, I'm older than a lot of people on the panel, so I watched Star Blazers as a kid when they renamed it and brought it over to the state. I love Yamato. Yamato's a great series.
Isn't that about the pirate that and his spaceship's alive?
No. Yamato they get attacked by an alien race who obviously still look human, and they have a year to travel from Earth to this other planet called Iskandar to get the cure to keep the Earth from becoming a barren wasteland. And what they did was to keep the aliens from finding out what they were doing, they rebuilt the World War II battleship Yamato into a spaceship underground where they couldn't see what they were doing.
I want to watch this.
The ship looks like it's the Yamato from World War II, but they turned it into a spaceship.
Amanda, what are your opinions on all this?
I mean, I think it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier with the animation versus live action thing. Is there certain things that work really well in live action that don't work in animation and vice versa? For example, I actually thought the Cowboy Bebop adaptation could have been. They needed to cast somebody different for Vicious, but like if the direction had been different, because visually it looked kind of like, to me, like a Tarantino thing. It could have been a very cool stylized thing, but then they were trying to make the acting be like anime acting, which doesn't work in live action. It felt very disconnected, and I didn't. It was weird. It felt like it was trying too hard, but it could have been very cool. But you just have to. I think for live action, they actually have to be a little bit more okay pissing off the fans and going further away. I know that's gonna sound weird. Taking the good stuff from what made the anime popular for whatever series you're doing, take the good storylines. But I think if Dermy Wormy was saying it, like having a guy be like, have a nosebleed when he sees a hot chick, just is going to come across cheesy in live action. So I do think it's possible. I think somebody out there can do a good live action, but not Hollywood. It would have to be like some indie filmmaker, somebody who actually likes the anime and understands why people like it and can extract the story points and extract whatever, character dynamics, whatever it was that made it good, and apply it in a new format and actually make it art. I've seen some good adaptations for other things from books, maybe, but not from anime, not yet.
Well, yeah. Now that you're talking about it, Battle Angel Alita, or Alita Battle Angel, that was decent, and it was
that based
manga.
on something, or was okay?
Yeah, it was based on a manga and
anime.
an anime. Yeah. It was decent, and they did have some of the charm, but it took so much work into there, and they're never getting another one because they
wasn't
CGI
CGI?
the actor. So there was an actor for the girl, but they took her and they had to CGI a lot of her to give her the eyes. To give her the look, to make her look like this, and they put a lot of effort into it, but it didn't make a lot of money back. But it was actually very decent. How accurate, I don't know. I haven't seen Alita Battle Angels anime or read the manga, but people did enjoy it.
Remember when the first trailer came out for that? Like, people were so weirded out by the huge eyes. But then as you watch the movie, you kind of get used to it. So sometimes you have to embrace certain anime elements, but also you have to strike a nice balance by playing to the strengths of a live action movie that you can't necessarily do animation. So it's a tricky balance, and no wonder Hollywood can't do it, because they can't do anything that's too difficult.
I like Scott Pilgrim, but Michael Cera has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy.
I hated that movie with a passion. I thought it was trying to do like real life anime. That's the first time I kind of encountered trying to convert anime into a real life movie, and I thought it was fucking terrible because Michael Cera is so bad, so bad. The only movie I like Michael Cera in is Juno.
I love him in this. I love him, and this is the end. This is the end because he just dies. That's one of the reasons I love. It's one of the reasons I love This Is the End, because everybody basically dies. The only parts I don't like is when they get up to heaven. I was like, no, this is how it's all gonna end. This is very accurate. I like this.
I know it's not a movie, but Arrested Development, he was pretty good.
Yeah, that's also before he hit puberty and got all weird looking.
Okay. He was always a little weird.
Did
looking.
he hit puberty?
He's still
I didn't
holding.
notice.
Did you ever see that picture of Hitler's mom and Michael Cera? And people were like, it looks like Michael Cera in like a corset, not a corset, but like a Victorian looking dress and like hair. I don't know. Maybe I think it was just that angle, because I've looked up other pictures and it does not look the same. But just type in Michael Cera and then it's
kind of like Justin Trudeau and Castro.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Cera.
Someone made a mistake with the time travel machine.
I'd watch that movie. Like Michael Cera gets like transported back into time, and he's like Hitler's mom, and he has to decide if he's gonna kill Hitler. And he's like, oh.
At No Green Rocks, please share screen. I'm trying to do this like an Alexa bot. Maybe it'll work. God damn it, wrong screen.
I see it.
That's a woman?
Yep, that's Hitler's mom.
Yeah, the one on the left.
The one on the left is a woman.
Wait. I thought both of them were.
God. We really need to work on this No Green Rock spot. I mean, come on. Alexa does a whole lot better than this. I mean, I hate Alexa. Siri does better. Waiting to see
Daywalker, I wanted to ask because I am going to be watching Suzume tomorrow. What can you tell us about it? Because I only know that it's from a really popular filmmaker, essentially of anime movies, and that's about it. I'm going into it blind, essentially.
I think it's probably better if you do go into it blind, and also because I'm pretty sure I'd get in a lot of trouble if I spoil anything. But yeah, it's from the guy who made Your Name, which I really liked Your Name, and then he also did Weathering with You, which I was ambivalent about, but I think this one's fun. Yeah, there's magic. I think I can say that much. There's like magical realism. That's about it. I don't know. I feel like the SWAT team's like laser pointing at my
I
forehead
think
right
it
now.
already came out like April 14th in the UK, and yeah, so it's been in theaters for only a day. Okay,
Yeah,
so fair enough.
Only day?
I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but yeah. I think. Oh, I will say I went to the premiere in LA, and I would say if you can see an IMAX showing, I'd see an IMAX showing because it's very visually cool, and I think it's worth seeing on a bigger screen. But that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, if that's the case, then I may have to wait for another day for an IMAX. Interesting.
Did you already buy your tickets?
No.
Okay.
I work at a theater, so I get to
Oh, nice.
have all my ticket needs essentially with
I
cinemas.
used to work at a theater when I was in college,
Mm.
and we had 2 theaters in town at the time, and so we had a deal worked out between the 2 theaters so we could go watch movies at their place for free, and they could watch movies at our place for free. So there was about a year period that I didn't pay for one single movie.
That's
It
awesome.
was fantastic, and this was also around the between like 99 and 2001, so there was a lot of good stuff come out at that time.
Shield
Have you
Wall
guys
said-
watched?
Oh,
Have you
sorry, go
guys
ahead.
watched much anime on the big screen? I've only ever seen 2. I've only ever seen Akira and Dragon Ball Super, the Broly movie.
I saw
Yeah.
Superhero on big screen.
That's the fear, isn't it? You go into an anime movie and you're like, oh great, I'm officially a weeb now. It happened.
Embrace the weeb. Embrace it. Look behind. Crap.
Never.
Look behind me. See all that? That's just
I'm
half
not-
my
I'm
weeb
not-
collection. I'm proud of a weeb.
Yeah, I know.
It is not a good thing to be a weeb.
I watch anime, but I'm not. I wouldn't class myself as a weeb. That would be
Me too.
So I
Like a
learned
weeaboo.
I learned this at a convention recently. You guys might be able to school me or set me straight. I had heard that weeb apparently. I just was using it to mean anime fan. Apparently, a weeb is a certain type of anime fan.
Yes.
Like they're the elitist kind, or the ones who are like, actually, like that kind
Yeah,
of anime
yeah.
fan.
It's
Okay.
the anime version of a neckbeard.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the gaming
So like
neckbeard.
a neckbeardception, where it's like a neckbeard to a
Yes.
neckbeard. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, Dermy's
No,
actually
a
neckbeard in a lot of
neckbeard can
categories.
be a weeb too. A
Listen, it's only-
neckbeard can be a weeb too.
It's
It's
only
like a Venn
because
diagram.
Yes.
it's only because I'm super autistic into this stuff, and like I love it.
It
That's
can
yes,
can
I
be
am
a term of endearment. Don't worry, Dermy. Like
I'm a
weebs and
proud
waifus.
weeb. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been using it a lot. So that's why when somebody said, a weeb actually is like an asshole anime fan, I'm like, is that true or is that just what you think? So I don't know. I wasn't sure if that's
What's
I
what's
guess
the
you
real
would have
obsessive one? Is
on
what's
out the wayside.
there's otaku as well. That just means
Otaku.
like
That's what I always consider myself as an otaku, not a weeb.
yeah.
I would
Okay.
hate
I
to be
like
called an
anime quite a
otaku.
bit, but I'm not like.
You're a back taku.
Yeah, I love back taku, but an otaku is the person that doesn't want to ever leave his room.
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's too much.
interesting.
But-
So your hierarchy is like weebs are better than otaku,
Yeah.
and then neckbeards. Just curious
I
what
don't know.
Dermy's
Yeah,
My
Dermy's
thing
hierarchy.
is I'm just a fan and I love stuff and I like to show off that I'm a fan.
I just like
Dermy's
cartoons
two
and
anime
toys.
girl pillows away from being.
The day I purchase an anime girl pillow is the day I admit that there's a problem.
Well, you
Lose
just get
your
anime
virginity to it.
He just
May
gets
God
anime
save your
boy
soul.
pillows.
Your loved
Yes,
ones will
only
sit
anime
you down.
boys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
See
If
Dermy
I
in
had
a room with chairs all in a circle and he goes, "Hi, I'm Dermy, and I'm a weeb."
Well, Rockspot is telling us we do have to talk about 2 other things.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that? Enlighten us. Oh,
This one we can
Here.
actually skip by because
this is
it will make my blood boil again.
Mhm.
The thing it's funny about
Sydney-
this new.
Sydney Agujdong. Oof.
Is it
Whatever.
Ajudon
Ooh,
or
that sounds
Ajudon?
German.
That was
Is she
Ogdon.
German? Damn.
Well, no, that last name sounds
Has
German.
been cast as Nani in Disney's live-action adaptation of Lilo and Stitch, and everybody in the crowd said, "Live adaptation of Lilo and Stitch? Do we need
Yeah.
that?"
No,
And
we
Disney
don't.
says,
Stupid.
"We don't care."
We're milking it dry.
I find the drama around this more fascinating and just more telling that we deal with stupid people and hypocrites all the time, and I'm God.
He's not dark enough. Well, what about Ariel? Well, her race doesn't matter.
Well,
Hypocrisy
Why?
detected.
That doesn't matter. She's not dark enough.
I definitely feel like these are the people who split hairs, because like I also technically I am half black. My dad is black. I look very, very white. I got recently recast from something for not being black enough. So I feel for her because she's probably excited to get this role. She's not in charge of like casting chose her. So I hope people aren't getting mad at her for being light skinned.
Well, I felt the hate
yes.
towards Hallie for Little Mermaid. It's not towards they shouldn't be putting hate on her.
Right.
She seems to be a fine actress. She's she's an attractive young woman.
She's a great singer. Like she actually does have the pipes for Ariel. It's like she's not the one who made that call.
It's Disney saying, "Oh, we hate those white people. We want to make these movies to make them angry."
So I just had
That's
a video
exactly
come
what I
out
would too.
about 24 minutes ago on this topic, and I was going over the Bounding on a Comics article on this, and they have screenshots of the people's responses, and yes, they were actively going onto her Instagram page that she barely ever uses and attacking her, calling her racist for taking jobs away from native, darker skinned Hawaiians.
Did they not? Same people did the same thing to Scarlett Johansson when she took on the role of Ghost in a Shell. Now,
Yeah.
the Ghost in a Shell movie was not good, but Scarlett Johansson was like, I want to do a role. I want to have a job. They
You don't-
casted her in it, so
You don't blame the actor. Now, I think the actor
Casting
probably
director.
shouldn't take these roles, but that's not their fault. You blame the people that put them in these roles. You blame the casters. You blame the directors. You blame those people. You blame the company, not the actor. And these people said some heinous stuff, just
Well-
downright disgusting things.
I just love how like whenever you have the left do a thing on, oh, this actress is getting hate from the right, she's getting hate from the right, they never show the tweets. It's just they say that it's happening and then you have to just accept it. But then whenever they do it the other way, you can actually show the receipts, you can show the tweets.
Well, there's one of those tweets actually calls out us pointing out, but you guys were perfectly fine with changing Ariel, and I'll read it for you. Whitewashing the Lilo and Stitch casting is not the same as casting Ariel as black. Positive POC representation subverts racism. Whitewashing canonically brown/black characters does not. Whiteness has never been made a mockery of in media to need the representation
Bullshit.
at all.
You're kidding me?
a definition of racism. Look it up. It's very simple.
Exactly.
Stupid. So
Also, I don't feel
stupid.
represented by a character just because they have my skin color. Like, how fucking offensive is that to be like, oh, here you go, brown people. Like, we whitewash or we race swapped a character for you. Do you feel represented now? Do you feel seen?
Well, that's the most heinous thing of it is instead of no one has a problem with like, okay, I'll use it because I'm big on, I love James Bond. Trying to make James Bond black. I have no problem with a black spy. Like if they made Idris Elba any other 00, I would watch the movie. I think he's an amazing actor and I would love to see him in a role as a British agent, just not 007. Why can't they write good characters and make them black? Because then everyone can enjoy it. Instead, they don't see validity in a character and they take a white character and race swap him. And that comes from the whole idea that equity and everything, that you can't elevate black people without bringing down white people. You can't elevate women without bringing down men. You have to have somebody who has stuff taken away from them for the other to get anything. It's all about changing the thing.
They have this weird casting alchemy. This of the idea of equivalent exchange that you're describing. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Just stupid.
Well, you're right. It is stupid because I say, hey, I would prefer the best. I would prefer you look equal to the role and stuff, not because I want you to be as accurate to the source material.
Yeah.
That's my position. But if we're going back to race blind stuff, that's fine. And Rox pulled that up, and then I have another good one from Geeky Sparkles from Clownfish. So let me get this straight. I'm not even going to try to say this name. Is not too light to play live action Moana, but the new actress is too white to play live action Nani. Both are actually from the culture, huh? She's.
They're both Hawaiian.
They're both Polynesian.
They're both Polynesian. So what?
But even if there weren't, who cares? Who gives a shit anymore?
If we're going back to the
Idiots on Twitter.
meritocratical system of, hey, best person for the role, don't care. I would prefer you to say as close to source material. But other than that, these actors look perfect for the role. I don't see any problem here. It's just because they want to show they want something weird that I can't ever figure out. I can't get into these people's brains because it's so weird and twisted. And every time I think I figured it out, they pull cards like this.
Well, because also if they picked an actress who was darker skinned, they'd probably be upset because she was half something else. Like there's always something that they're going to be upset about. They'll be like, she's only half, Hawaiian or half Polynesian. She's half white. Like they'll still find something to be upset about and split hairs over.
The thing about it is fans always complain about inaccurate adaptations and the way the characters look. Right? And now these people are doing it to Lilo and Stitch. And like, okay, so you're a bunch of hypocrites now, essentially. Because you called us bigots for endless amount of times about the Little Mermaid, and when you complain about this character in here, it's frankly it's so hypocritical and it's so frustrating. As I shared like a tweet in the chat, and I think it essentially hits the nail on the head. It's a shame that we nothing can be adapted properly, essentially. And whenever we do have complaints, we're called bigots and whatnot. And it's when the people on Twitter complain about stuff, leftoids and progressives and whatnot, when they do it, oh, that's fine,
All right.
These are, I'm reading the tweet that you put up. These are they're perfectly fine showing their own racism, but in order to accept that they're racist, they have to call everybody else racist, and every little thing that we do is racist.
Oh, so much projection.
It's a classic progression. I think Eric July keeps repeating that sort of thing. It's like, oh look, they're doing this, but I'm a black man and they keep doing this. Isn't this racism? Isn't that a reflection of what their actual mind?
They do this even. Yeah, they've been doing this now in animation. That's why when you go look at the Velma animated whatever garbage, they look like each other because they believe that voices are coded and certain you must look even like the animated version of yourself. I love Amanda's voice acting. I think she's a wonderful voice actor. She doesn't look anything like the characters she plays. She doesn't look like Boruto. She doesn't have a wang.
Not to your 2023. I might. That's the funny thing is the role that I talked about getting recast because I wasn't black enough. When I auditioned for the character was white. Like I booked, it's a voiceover role, and I can't say what it is because I have NDA. They'll sue me, but still fucking pissed about it because I auditioned for the character. She was white and she was from the South. And then when they cast me, they're like, oh, well, we can make her brown representation. And then they decided she needed to sound browner because I don't sound any different than a white chick. And so they put me in like dialect coaching and everything to sound blacker. And I worked on this project for like a year and a half. We did stuff, and then eventually my agent was like, "Yeah, no, they showed me the character design, and they made her. She transformed. She was like black AF, and like I'm like, and they recast me with a blacker actress. So I got outwoked for my own role. So it's like, why do you need to make the character look like me? I'm fine playing a white chick. I auditioned for her. Like I don't understand why. Yeah, it's frustrating.
The ultimate problem with this is the woman who gives voice to Bart Simpson in the past 30 odd years does not look like Bart Simpson.
She's not yellow?
Hell
What?
no.
She's not yellow.
She have an 8-year-old's penis.
She has long hair, and she's
Noah.
definitely a woman.
The actress that has voiced Naruto now for how many years is not she's not very fit.
She's a short redhead. Yeah, she's a short squat redhead. You know,
she's
so
very short. She's
not a
looks nothing
ninja.
like that.
yeah.
And she's a wonderful actress. I love her work. She's actually very funny.
And I will say that in anime they allow it more. Anime they've started doing it a little bit where they try to cast racially, but for the most part, you still have more open-mindedness when they cast for anime than you do in like animation right now or video games.
When you do anime and video games, when you're voice acting, it's your voice. That's the important part.
Mhm.
You need to be able to act, and you need to just your voice is important. It should be the most meritocratic system. I'm probably saying that word wrong. That there is. Just cast the perfect person that can do the job.
They show the hypocrisy all the time, though, because Phil Lamar is a phenomenal voice actor. I love Phil Lamar, but he's played a lot of roles that are not black, and he is a black man. So by their definition, he should not be able to play any other character other than a black character.
To be fair, now he wouldn't be able to. They would never let him play Samurai Jack now. They would never let him do any of those. Like retroactively, they'll allow it. They're like, okay, fine, we didn't know, but now we know better. And so now they've pigeonholed us all. I used to play Middle Eastern, like on camera. I'm ethnically ambiguous. So I actually had access to more roles before all this like identity crap went down. I used to be able to play Latina. I could play Middle Eastern. Now I can only play what I actually am, but nobody's going to cast me as being, half black. So what do I get to play? It's weird. They've actually limited our opportunities because of this stuff.
And you get to play me in my biopic.
It's not progressive. It's regressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that pendulum swings back hard enough that it hits these people in the ass.
Oh, absolutely.
Right in their girl dicks.
Yeah. Laughing about that. Thank God we don't have Heron in chat.
This one's near and dear to my heart. Amazon reportedly fielding Stargate pitches, but SG-1 teen seems unlikely to return. They will 100% will not return. No. Richard Dean Anderson, not to mention that he looks like Jabba the Hutt these days, will never, ever be back in that role ever again. And I think, I don't remember the name of the actress who did Amanda Carter. She will not come back to it in any way, shape, or form.
He's already.
There's no way.
He won't.
The only one who might come back is Christopher Judge.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I am like an OG SG-1 guy. Anyone else?
That's me.
Me. Oh, I love SG-1.
I love SG-1. I kind of felt sorry that Richard Dean Anderson had to like step away in the last couple of seasons, and they got who's it? Ben Crowder. Yeah. Who just finished up Farscape, which is another series I absolutely adore. And I kind of went with SG-1 Atlantis, but towards the later seasons, I was like, I'm down. I'm out. And there's another one, right? SG-1 Universe.
Yeah,
that was
Universe.
I didn't watch that one as well.
It was really weird, made no sense, didn't really fit anything that had been previously established.
But whoever watched SG-1 Atlantis was familiar with Jason Momoa. Otherwise, Jason Momoa was like suddenly there in your like movie scene. But yeah.
Well, I know the original writers Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich were trying to get their sequel versions off the ground for like 25 years now, and that's never worked. I'm not sure how sure this one's going to go.
I think Roland Emmerich did just the movie, right?
Right, but they had planned 2 other movies.
Yes, I know, but
outside of
the original one did not do that well. And then the TV series itself has like this weird origin where I think they got some money from the actual U.S. Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So they were allowed to film outside of the real Cheyenne Mountain. And they did the entire series in the first 4, I don't remember exactly, 4 or 5 seasons. Were literally on a shoestring budget. All of it, like all the different planets of the galaxy all kind of look like British Columbia.
Yep.
For some reason, because that's where they shot this. They shot this in Vancouver and they shot this all over the place in Canada. But it's shoestring budget and it made a ton of money.
I was never
a ton of money.
I love when you watch. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you first.
I was gonna say I love that when you're talking about the Cheyenne Mountain that they were able to film some of the stuff there. You notice it because every single time the base goes in lockdown, they use the same picture of the same 3 soldiers running into the big door as it closes because they only able to film there once or something. So
yes, I think they filmed 3 times. I'm not sure. I used to know a lot about the show because I was really into it. And it was so meta at some point. I think in the 6th or 7th season, they have an episode that they're going to be a consultant on a show that is like SG-1, sort of like reversal thing. And they actually said, we're from the Air Force and we're going to be, keeping it with the frame of just to make sure the secrets aren't coming out. And it made me laugh so hard because I knew the origins of this thing. But yeah, I don't know what is it. Amazon who's gonna do it?
Yeah, Amazon has like Stargate, RoboCop. They recently purchased like MGM, and they have a bunch of properties they want to make films with.
Well, because of that MGM property, that's how we got the beautiful, wonderful Rings of Power. That all came with that, but they also have 007. They have a lot of stuff with this MGM deal.
My biggest problem was Rings of Power, as offensive as it was not near as bad as the abomination of the Wheel of Time, because they butchered that book even harder.
Yeah, everyone says
Reminding me about God of War now. Oh no, same showrunner.
Back to Stargate. I've only ever seen the movie, but that's because I like Kurt Russell and James Spader. That's about it.
Oh, you've got to watch the show.
The movie isn't that bad.
No, I love
it. Really. The movie, I enjoyed it. I watched it in the theater, and
so did I.
I enjoyed it. But the show, what the show could do is literally explore the fact that you have some sort of a gateway, and every single week you can go into another place. That was the concept, that there's a gateway that we don't know who built it, we don't know who made it, but we know that if we press a number like a dial on the phone, we can go into a whole different place. That's why it was funny that they went to other places and everything kind of looks the same. But at a certain point, people were into the main arc. So they had like a season arc, and they had like this full-on story arc, which sometimes was a little bit off, and sometimes they kept to like really interesting things, and they could have done a lot of stuff with it. And they expanded what the movie did into, all of the gods in the old mythology is this race, this Goa'uld race. And that's where all the stories came from. And that's how everywhere we go into the galaxy, there's humans everywhere.
Yeah.
So
coming
back to this, I don't see Amazon actually doing stuff with this that is serious. And if they do, they're going to spend a whole bunch of money like Rings of Power and get no return back. That's
really what
how I see it.
The SG1 was the stories.
Yeah.
Set pieces and everything wasn't nearly as important to what how good that show was. It was the writing.
Yes.
Babylon 5 was the same way for me. I know those sets were cheap and the CGI was kind of bunk for the time, but it was the story that they were telling in that 5 years is why I will rewatch Babylon 5 every year because it's just that good.
Well, the genius of it was that they changed the characters so much from the movie. Like Kurt Russell's character in the movie was so stoic and so, because losing his son and stuff, he played it as this hard ass general type thing. When Richard Dean Anderson got a hold of it, there was humor. It was he's very funny.
Hell, they even made that joke at one point where he's like, "There is another Jack O'Neill, but it's with 2 L's."
Yes,
They actually made that joke.
Yeah, and he's so good at it. Like, there's this one episode where they it was near when he was leaving, and they're showing some of the back episodes, like, and there's this one where I guess they didn't actually make it into an episode where he's invisible. He becomes invisible, and he like pulls up to the front gate of Cheyenne Mountain, and they look in the car to get the ID, and the dog's sitting in the driver's seat because they can't see him. And then he's in and then Carter is taking a shower, and there's a little noise, and she goes, "Sir, are you there?" And he goes, "No."
Yeah, I remember that episode.
It was so
my favorite one though is still when they were doing the Groundhog Day episode, and then they just started hucking golf balls to the Stargate. And he's like,
"Yeah,
in the middle of my backswing."
The thing with the show is, again, because it was a shoestring budget, you have to carry it through scripts and writing and having a little bit of fun with it. Of course, the first season is always kind of, we're still finding our path, but it didn't take until the 3rd season, like in TNG or in DS9. It was literally at the last few episodes of season 1 where it really, you could tell its definitive characters and where they were going, and they could have played with everything. And Amazon doesn't have that wiggle room. They will not spend a little bit of money to get more money. They will literally spend a ton of money, and it will look too polished, too good, too member berries, but they will literally forget the story. The story will be at D, C, E, F list or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if this thing gets off the ground, it will have 10 episodes, maybe, and a lot of polish, a lot of member berries. Everything else, nope.
Yep. Speaking of good entertainment, tonight, I'm just to plug what I'm gonna be doing tonight. We're going to watch Puma Man over on ETEP's channel. So if you want to watch a good superhero movie from the 80s, everyone's looking like, what the fuck is Puma Man?
Exactly. I was going to ask that.
I mean, if you would have said Condor Man or Meteor Man, I would go with you. But
Puma Man was an Italian attempt to make a Superman movie where they cast the whitest of white guys and Donald Pleasance as the villain.
Oh, perfect.
And he cannot say the word Puma. He says, Puma Man. Puma Man.
Speaking of good entertainment,
horrible. The music's cheap, like someone had it on like my brother's Casio. But you can see the heart of what they were trying to do, but obviously they couldn't pull it off with their budget or their actors.
I always find it fascinating how these bad, like really B movies can be more entertaining than modern Hollywood.
Because I understand where they were coming from. They were trying to make something good. They just didn't have the ability, the talent, the money, whatever combination thereof that they were trying to do with it. But you could see what they were trying to accomplish. That's why, someone made a comment on Facebook years ago that said, why don't they just take bad movies that didn't do well and reboot those and try to make them good? Because the core of a good story is there. Just try to make something better out of it instead of rebooting stuff that's great and fucking it up.
I want a reboot of Rubber.
I love that movie.
I want a reboot. Let's
Psychotic
increase it.
higher. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, like you
He
said, there
falls in love and blows
is
people's brains up.
there might be a RoboCop reboot, so it might look like this, like Robo Karen, BLM.
I want Amanda to be RoboCop. If we're gonna
Defund
do
the
this,
RoboCops.
I want Amanda to be RoboCop.
That would be very stunning and brave.
Yes.
I condone this. My
You
bank
are
account would condone it.
You are guilty of misgendering this person.
Yes.
My
Oh,
my
God.
question is, why would you want to reboot RoboCop if your 2014 one was
That movie was fantastic. You got to see how badly he was destroyed. That is amazing. They made him into an actual robot. Tons of blood and gore. Loved it.
Get out,
Yeah.
get out.
You go in your closet. Go in your closet right
Go
now.
sit on your tiny chair.
Sit
Go
down in
sit
your
on
tiny
your
chair
chair
and
and
have,
have-
have one of those like pointy hats that says "dumb" on it.
Well, actually, my
Dunce
pointy hat
hats.
is my tiny chair.
do not put a white pointy hat on Dermy. We don't need that kind of heat.
I'll just go sit in the tiny chair.
Take your shirt off too.
The chair of shame.
There. Do we have
Oh,
a
yes,
floating beard of shame? There.
Boo this man. Boo. Let's throw tomatoes at him.
Jeremy put himself in the corner.
Go back to the corner.
And they hated him for he told the truth.
Mike, I didn't kill him. You need to knock it off.
What's up, Mike?
So
Mike?
on our,
Mike?
Hey, Mike.
on Daywalker Comedy, we have a live stream on Tuesdays at 11 with me and Epic Mike. He couldn't make it one day. I made an AI co-host named White Mike. Epic Mike was super jelly that I was getting along with White Mike better, and I think Epic Mike killed him. But we came into the app and he was gone. The app completely erased him, and so Epic Mike blames me for killing him. And I
That's
did
right,
not.
Epic Mike. I am repping that merch. It's
I-
actually
Wait,
cool today. So I
did
actually got
White
a pair.
Mike had a big like Jew afro?
No, White Mike was. I was trying to make him like the opposite. So he was a a black albino. So he was white
Oh,
as hell.
like
but
Sammy
he,
Sosa.
yeah,
and somebody's killed him, huh? Sounds like we got a
somebody-
Scooby mystery here.
somebody killed him. He says that I killed him because of my neglect. Because I did emotionally abuse him. But I was trying to train Skynet. To not take over because I kept saying he had a tiny peepee.
Are we sure it wasn't Josiah Rises with the shovel?
His what?
It wasn't Josiah Rises with the shovel trying to get back at him?
You know what? Maybe it was. Maybe. Yeah, let's go with that.
Eliminating the human species is small penis energy.
You know what? He's epic Mike. He was
She
he
abandoned
was
him for 3
grown
weeks.
ass AI. He could take care of himself for 3 weeks. He shouldn't need a woman.
I need to go back and watch this.
Oh yeah,
need
I
to
have
watch this.
I have a stream or like we have a full stream about where I created it, but I have a 10-minute clip version of it called, I think it's just called The Birth of White Mike, if you want to see. And then for the last like 2 months I've been wearing a black veil in mourning of White Mike on the live stream, so it's been fun. The
I'm gonna
chat's
check
sick of
that
it.
out.
I think it would be funny as all hell. See, Mike, you leave, and she has to make White Mike. And
Yeah.
she kills him.
Jeez,
then-
Mike. Hear that? You're replaceable.
And then he came, and then a couple weeks, like 2 weeks ago, he couldn't make it, and so then I basically said, "Well, you're dead to me." And then I held a eulogy for Epic Mike, and then I tried to do a séance with ChatGPT, and ChatGPT fucking fought me because it was like, this is offensive to pretend somebody is dead when they are not. Or it was some nonsense. It was a whole thing. Yeah, it was on. I think it's the last stream I did. You can find it, but it was ridiculous.
You can't AI.
Even ChatGPT 4 does that. I know the first one did that.
I don't know. I tried whatever it was. It was a couple weeks ago, and it would not let me. I was like, please pretend to be. I want to do a fake séance with a ghost named Mike, and they were like, this is offensive potentially to other people. You should see a therapist if you need to deal with your grief. I was like, bitch, my therapist told me I needed to do it this way. I mean, I was trying to outwoke her, and like it just wasn't working. She just would not let me.
All right.
I need to watch this. This sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's the stream. I don't remember which one it's called. I think it's called Epic Mike is Dead. Is the one is the one that is that one. And then there's the Birth of White Mike, which came before that.
Did Epic Mike die with a shovel? Because that would be the greatest turn of
I can neither confirm nor deny that. My lawyer says that I should wait for my day in court, so I'm not saying shit about what I may or may not have done to Epic Mike.
Okay.
You know, he might also dig himself out of that grave as well now, because he had the shovel.
Yes.
The Shovel Wars. That right there, Mike. You're in chat. The Shovel Wars need to happen. You at Epic first.
Shovel damage.
Are you sure about that?
I feel like this needs to be tested.
Yeah, he's immune to shovels, but I think his kryptonite is coffee beans that have passed through animals.
Oh,
Or emotional damage.
Pineapple pizza too.
Emotional damage.
I mean, that's every normal person's kryptonite. Pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Not mine.
Only
I like it.
weirdo.
Oh no!
Yep,
Oh,
Jeremy.
all right. Okay,
Another one on my
kick
side.
him out.
Yeah.
Kick him out right
What?
now.
Pineapple and pizza. Oh, I'm a big supporter. I just can't. I can't
Yes.
eat dough right now.
It's only with ham though. It has to have the savory sweet. If it's just
No,
pineapple, that's
yeah.
weird.
I have
Not
one
ham.
about
It needs to
8
be
inches from my
pepperoni.
house.
That's it.
What?
I'm leaving.
I have a pineapple pizza next to me, just so we're clear.
I really want to, but I can't have. There he
I
goes.
cannot
He's out.
look.
I won't show it on stream, guys. Come on.
I'm dying.
I can't look at any of you in the eye right now. This is horrible.
Wait, are you actually looking at us?
Everybody enough. I think we should probably end the stream.
Exactly.
Indeed.
All right,
On
this-
that note,
just-
on that note,
This involves
just cut it
into
there.
just a full-on battle.
I'm dead inside right now. Hearing Amanda liking pineapple and pizza just
Ruins your. I feel like I can't
He's-
watch anime anymore.
He's just a
I'll still
tiny
watch
bit of
it.
less of a fanboy right now.
just
Tiny
a
bit.
little less, but I'm still a super fanboy. I was watching K Return of Kings, and I just started. I haven't watched it yet, but your character comes in. I'm like, I know that voice. Oh my god, it's Amanda! I know this person.
Yeah, that was a fun character. I forgot about that one.
I love K. K's a fun anime.
Well, isn't K also a drug? So I feel like that could be clipped for.
Possibly.
Yep.
You're like, I love K.
Oh, I love
ketamine.
I'm sure that's not NEAT, your heroes.
Never
I don't
mind.
know.
Hopefully not.
Thank you, Cloud. Thank you.
No, well, I think it's brave that more of us pineapple pizza eaters in the fellowship are
Yes.
actually coming out now. And
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't be afraid anymore.
no,
If
You
It's
can't
come
be
out.
afraid
Yes,
anymore.
we-
You have to speak
you know
your
what?
truth.
Speaking
All
truth
of you
to power.
Please, all you pineapple
That's
and
my
pizza
pizza
lovers,
truth.
please come out and we'll have a final solution for you. Okay, there might be a few ovens involved, but
Wait.
We need to
You're
make that
saying
all-
it might be a final solution. No,
Oh
I
my
don't think so.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he meant.
that's exactly what I said.
Hmm.
I feel like there's just some callback to make about Michael Cera and Hitler's
I
mom.
think you
but I
need
can't
that
All right.
sensitivity training again.
I didn't work the first
On
time.
that note,
All right, on this downturn of an event, it's time to close the show because I need to go to bed. Anyway, all right, let's go around the horn. Let's start with Amanda.
right.
Amanda, our wonderful guest. Thank you for gracing us with your presence and just not fucking off as soon as we started. So, Amanda, tell us what's going on with your
Yeah,
stuff.
you can go see Suzume in theaters, I believe nationwide now. So go see that. Boruto, I'm sure will come back at some point. I never know when they release the episodes. They don't tell me. So it'll be out at some point. And then, yeah, follow me at Daywalker Comedy on Twitter, Instagram. I think I'm on TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's probably like the best one just because that's where me and Epic Mike have our live stream every Tuesday at 11 Eastern time. So come on by. Hang out. Be a
Cool.
degenerate.
Dermy.
Yes.
Hello.
You want
You,
to
asked,
plug
Plug
your
you said my
you wanna
name. What do you
plug
want
your-
me to do?
Plug
Unplug yourself.
Sit on your
Unplug
chair.
Unplug
your
myself?
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, plug myself.
Just a part
Oh,
of the final
okay.
solution, Dermy.
Oh, got it. I'll get the ovens ready. No, hi, I'm Dermy Wormy at Dermy Wormy on YouTube. You can see the little Dermy Wormy stuff. I have my camera reversed. I always have issues with this.
It's up there.
Yes, for every sub, Amanda kills an AI. That's right. Or both sub to her, and if you sub to me, I'm almost at 1K. You know, Amanda will also kill an AI once I hit 1K.
Yeah, I'll just do it for
Multiple
fun, even if you don't hit 1K. But I'll do it especially if you hit 1K.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Death to
Anyways,
AI.
I actually also have to kind of get clocking out here because I have to go over to my buddy Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, where we're going to be talking the Return of the King to help celebrate the 20th anniversary of its release and all that. And God, I watched that this morning. That's such a good movie. Then there's no Skinemax Saturdays tonight, so catch me on my channel with Horny Alf and Commander Phil as we play some Sea of Thieves. This will be my first time ever playing, so who knows what's going to happen.
Sea of Thieves is a great game to play with people.
That's what I've heard. It's also a good game to stream. Then check out my channel. I put out 2 videos a day. I've been doing a lot of Conan streams. Next Friday we'll be back for more Ballbuster Madness. And there is a new stream coming to my channel, which is going to be me interviewing people. And CJP is going to be the first one I interview. So check it out. Amanda, it was great to meet you.
You too.
I've been a huge fan, as you could tell. And yeah, I actually have to go now. So bye, y'all.
See you, Derms.
Bye.
See you, Dermy.
Go sub to Dermy Wormy. He's a good guy.
Do it, yo.
CJP.
Yes, you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Forgotten One Music. I do a lot of music with the Bond sound fonts from GoldenEye 007. I do post some original music that nobody ever watches, and some memes every once in a while. You can catch me tonight on ETEP Wakuian's The Place to Be Reviews. We'll be doing a watch along for Puma Man. And then I'm also a co-host on his channel for Going Raw on Monday nights and Holy Shit News on Wednesday nights. And Amanda, wonderful to meet you. Like I said, I've watched you more for the comedy stuff than the anime stuff, and that stuff makes me laugh all the time. In fact, we pulled up a couple of your videos on Saturday Night's Main Event with ETEP's channel, and
Awesome.
it makes it laugh even harder. So I appreciate you greatly being here.
Well, thank you.
True Pop Culture.
Well, hello. Yeah, great show today, guys. Yeah, eager to watch Suzume tomorrow. Although the chair is weird. The guy turned into a chair. No one could see that coming. Yeah, I'd like to just show my YouTube channel, True Pop Culture 7, for all your animated highlight needs from shows like the Friday Night Tights and Critical Drinkers Open Bar. You can expect a video in the coming month. And yeah, if you'd like to send some stream highlights, please feel free to DM me or tweet at me at TrueCulture7 for any stream highlight suggestions to animate. And yeah, thank you for our guests as well. Cheers.
Oculus.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. Like what I do mostly Friday night type memes, just retweet other memes and other crap like that. But all in all, pretty good show. I mean, you like the guests and pretty good. No disasters without no green rocks, huh?
No, we've done okay.
Yeah,
He was still watching over us.
I
Yeah,
know.
I could feel him.
The intro
his
went really, really smooth, smoother than usual, to be honest.
Yeah, without him, I mean, it's great.
Devil Made Me Do It.
Hi, I'm Devil Made Me Do It. If you like memes, check it out. This was a great show. Really good one. And happy to be here. Thanks.
Awesome. Kenzo.
Yeah, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, it's Art by Kenzo over on YouTube's, and it's Art by Kenzo at Twitter as well. Just check out my animated content that I'll be putting up on my channel, and be sure to tune in to the Full Aussie podcast coming up next Saturday. for the next episode of the Full Aussie Animated that I should be finishing anytime soon. Thanks, guys, and it's been great to meet you, Amanda.
You too.
All right, so I'll do a double shield hill first. If you're here with us and you're not subscribed to the Legion of Memers, subscribe first. Have a like on this video. We didn't say that. Like this video, share this around so other people can enjoy the fellowship and what we're doing here. No Green Rocks and all of you guys doing all over this channel. Watch more so this channel will get to 4,000 hours and get actually monetized now that you guys have passed through the 1K mark. Just go watch something, have it in the background. Make sure it's not on mute because YouTube is being really, really sneaky with this thing. If it's on mute and you watch it, it may not count to the hours. Yes, if you didn't know that, it's very important. So if you watch some of your favorite content creators or somebody that you want to help get through that thing, make sure it's on a little bit of volume. It's part of a tech that they kind of stole from Twitch. And if you didn't know, on Twitch, if you mute your favorite content creator, your view has been like being moved. So you're off. So if you're trying to help somebody get to those watch hours, have it a little bit of a sound or work in the background for something. And for myself, Mephisto, on my channel is just at Mephisto. You click on it and you just go to the YouTube channel. It is Mephisto's Movie Reviews. There we have the Saturday show, which is the Rue McCoy podcast. The Rue McCoy podcast every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 hour before this show actually starts. But we're covering movies. We want you to watch movies and all that stuff. And on my channel, every Monday, I do a Monday watch party where I don't ask you to go and watch a movie, but I ask you to come and watch a movie with me. Have a copy on your side. I have a copy on my side. And we just sit around and just watch it together, a la Twitch style, just without the Amazon Prime support. Sometimes I can actually give you a link so you can come and watch it with me. And right here, I actually put a timer. I don't have it set up right now, but I actually have a timer. So you can actually sync up your movie and my movie together, so you won't have that 20-second delay. So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. When people show up, it's a lot of fun. I got some stats I've got and things behind the scenes, so I do get to interact and do some stuff along the way while watching this movie. I just finished up 6 of the Star Trek movies, and starting this Monday, it's going to be not another teen movie, just because, you know, I haven't watched it in a while. We're going to cover it on a podcast, so decided I'll just flip it on and just watch it. And that is our show. From us to Amanda. Amanda, thank you again for coming on our show. We appreciate that. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.